I mean, here's the thing, though, that, like, we need to think about, because I know for a fact that, like, I think maybe, like, my first 50 games of ranked, I was, like, serious. I was like, heck yeah, we're gonna climb. Like, we're paying attention. We're, like, completely focused. And then after that, I was, like, AFK, like, brain off, like, playing. But, like, you know, I wasn't, like, thinking about, like, playing.
You weren't, like, playing the game. You were just, like, attending.
Right, I was like there and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna hit the CS, but like we know what we're supposed to do, right? Like we all know, we know how to jungle track, we know how to freeze, we understand, like, you know, most junglers pathings, we understand when things spawn, we understand our matchups for the most part. Like we know all these things, and I like really thought about that the other day because I was talking to somebody from the boot camp server, and they were asking me, they were like, you know, what was like, they were teaching their friend how to play the game. They were like, what was the one thing that really like blew your mind when you like figured out how it worked? Because I was saying how like this season feels like I'm relearning how to play the game, right?
Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Savvy Scoundrel Slayers podcast. This is post our introduction to Chad. And I'm joined with Fawn and Taption.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Wow, Taption has a real mic now.
ASMR.
Yeah, I convinced Taption to get a mic because he was echoing throughout the whole last podcast. And
rip.
And literally I had Nick at Night work through it with me, and there was no way to fix it. I literally had to just cut every section of audio that you weren't talking.
Rip.
And that's why I went through the trouble of getting this. You welcome, honest.
Yeah.
You welcome.
$39 to save me hours.
Hey. Hey. You don't dig money out of the ground, huh? Honest.
I mean, you do.
Every
You're
penny
freaking
counts.
loaded. You work for Google. You probably make twice as much.
Doesn't mean anything, okay? It doesn't mean anything. I snake as much as you do, or less, potentially. I think if I played 200 games, I'll actually be in plat, not in gold 1. And on top of that, my track record of being in plat on 2 different accounts for the past 4 years, I think, I was pretty consistent. I would like to say so.
Maybe we shouldn't mention the past 4 years part about the
Yeah,
maybe that part.
That sounds like hard stuck.
Basically, yeah.
Maybe we should have left that part.
I mean, like, it's for me, it's been like a year and a half of me stuck, But 4 years? That's pretty drastic difference.
If somebody tells me that I'm a hard stuck plat player, I have nothing to say to them because that is true. That is true.
Before that I was silver, and then before that I was bronze. So in the past 4 years, I've gone from bronze to silver to gold 2 to this season.
4.
Well, this season's not over yet.
I went to silver to bronze to
I'm going to
diamond.
Silver
to gold. I gotta get to plat this season or I'm not looking good.
That's same here. That's why I'm paying freaking JS copious amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we bet on who can get to plat first here out of 3 of us? You should make that a competition. I need some motivation to play some game.
No. Who can get to diamond first? No one's ever gonna win division higher than they played last season.
Well, last season I was top 4.
So I just have to get to P40 LP. Got you.
Bingo.
Okay.
If you ended gold 40 LP. Now, if you ended gold for like 89 LP, you're gonna have to hit P4 89 LP.
I think I ended gold for 3 LP, so I think I'm good.
I don't think that's a fair bet for me because a skill gap from gold to plat or silver to gold.
I think it is fair because I've only had a year and a half to practice in gold, and you've had 4 years to practice in plat. So you should have the meta down in plat, you know?
Well, see, here's the thing. He's been playing on 2 accounts, so maybe if he just puts all his focus into 1 account, he can hit D4.
True.
Actually, it's been 3 accounts for the past 2 years. So
well, see, then we can flame him. Then we can flame him and call him a D4 peaker as an insult.
I mean, that is
a
true.
P4 peaker.
Except my peak is actually P2, and
that means you peaked years ago.
That doesn't have the same ring to it as D4 peaker.
But you're not wrong because my 2 ults usually stay at P4 because like I usually play like hardcore on my main account where I try to be higher than plat. And other 2 I just play for fun. Once I reach plat, I'm like I don't care anymore. As long as I stay in plat, I can have fun. So those are usually like P4 0 P accounts, and my main is usually like P3 or higher.
Fair. I mean, you know, it's higher than we've ever seen, honest. So he's doing good in comparison.
That's true.
Well, not this year though. This year is a little different.
Well, I feel like this season's really hard.
He hasn't touched plat in a while.
Nope.
I mean, legit though, I feel like this season's harder because there's just so much like content on how to like not be shit at League of Legends that like I got frozen on by a bronze 2 player in my fucking placements, and I was like, how do you know how to freeze? Like, how do you know what that is? Like, I'm actually confused. Like, I'm very confused.
Maybe he was a Papa Smurf.
I think that was his main account, to be honest. I think it's just that, you know, the meta's changing and people are like, you know, low elo players are starting to get more information and starting to know more about how the game works. That too. You know, that too.
That is true. Like, we do hear people that play League from a long time ago that says, like, in Season 1, like, Diamond, which is, like, a significantly higher tier than what a Diamond is right now, like, used to, like, is basically now, like, Gold. Like, because so many people, just range of play, like, amount of players that knows how to play the game is just not much. So, like, in turn, you just get pushed down above, super good players.
I've thought about making a brand new account or just buying, like, a brand new account that just newly fresh level 30 account and just playing ranked, like 100 games ranked, and seeing where I would end up, like, without my current MMR affecting it, you know?
Like, I think maybe, like, my first 50 games of ranked, I was, like, serious. I was like, heck yeah, we're gonna climb. Like, we're paying attention. We're, like, completely focused. And then after that, I was, like, AFK, like, brain off, like, playing. But, like, you know, I wasn't, like, thinking about, like, playing.
You weren't, like, playing the game. You were just, like, attending.
Right, I was like there and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna hit the CS, but like we know what we're supposed to do, right? Like we all know, we know how to jungle track, we know how to freeze, we understand like, you know, most junglers pathings, we understand when things spawn, we understand our matchups for the most part. Like we know all these things, and I like really thought about that the other day because I was talking to somebody from the boot camp server, and they were asking me, they were like, you know, what was like, they were teaching their friend how to play the game. They were like, what was the one thing that really like blew your mind when you like figured out how it worked? Because I was saying how like this season feels like I'm relearning how to play the game, right? I was like jungle tracking, like blew my mind. Like the fact that that's like a thing that you can know, oh, I'm about to get ganked because I know that this is his pathing and he's probably here right now, right? So I know that I need to not be pushed up in this lane because I'm getting ready to get level 2 ganked by Zinzao, right? You know what I mean? Or like Rek'Sai through Tribush, right? So like we know that, and I know that as a bot laner, but like a lot of the times I'm playing AFK and then like I know the enemy jungler is a Rek'Sai and then, oh my god, I'm dead. I've been ganked level 2 by the Rek'Sai through Tribush. Who would have guessed that that's what happened, right?
Yeah, it's like every single time I see a Twitch against me. I'm like, I can't ping every single lane to back off.
True.
No, it's not even every single lane.
Into the game, you know?
It's like 99% of the time it's mid lane, and I tell my mid lane every single time there's a Twitch jungle, I tell them,
watch for level 2 gank.
Twitch
and then they boom, first blood, Diana. You're like, what?
Oh, who would have thought? Shocking.
Like,
but like that's the difference. Like we all know those things, right? And we don't utilize them. Like I played today. I was like, I've been demoted from I went from like S3 to S4 to S2 to S3 to S4. Like I've been just jumping back and forth between tiers. And today I sat down and I said, you know what? I'm gonna use my brain today. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna play these games, and I'm gonna play like I have some sense, and I'm gonna use all the things that I know, and I'm gonna see how I do. I started the day with I think it was like 20 LP. I ended the day, I'm 1 win off of S1 because I know how to play the game in this elo. Like we know how to play the game for the elo that we're in. We do. We just play with our brains turned off like a lot, and we know that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just like JS was telling Taption, like even I do the same thing. Like you have to play to win, not just play the game, you know? Like because if you're just playing like of course you're not going to win. You're not doing anything. It's basically your team versus their team, and you are just participating in their battle. You know?
Yeah, and more off of that, what he was actually saying is you have to be calling the shots.
Bingo.
Because if you are playing to win, you probably have a better idea of what those clueless teammates are doing. And instead of like following up on what they're doing, you have to like ping aggressively,
you're the one making the play, and your team is following up on you. Instead of, your team making a play that's stupid and you saying, oh, this is dumb. And then still going in because you weren't making any moves. They were.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. And so, I noticed, if I autopilot, same thing. I'm not making any plays. I'm just farming. And then, shit happens. And I'm like, why did we fight there? It's like, we weren't doing anything prior.
Flip.
Yeah.
That's how the coin flip games happen, where it's like, oh, well, my team's going in, I guess I better go in too. And I've been playing games where people are mad at me, question mark pinging me. I'm like, y'all are doing some stupid stuff and I'm watching you. And I know that what you're doing is dumb. So what I'm going to do is not that. Instead of autopiloting and going and making the dumb decision with my team, I'm going to go do something constructive. Oh, my jungler's dying because he's invading their jungle for absolutely no reason when we know that there's 4 people missing on the map. And the last time we saw them was in the top side and he's in their top side jungle. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take his whole bot side jungle and I'm going to push mid and I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to let him die to the 4 people that are in the jungle, or I'm going to go push bot lane. I'm going to go do something exactly on the other side of what he's doing and dying to. Because it doesn't make sense for us to just, my whole team is going over there to die with him, and then they're spam pinging me why didn't you come? Well, because you wanted to fight Kiana, a Master Yi, and a Veigar, in a closed-in area. Why do I want to do that? I don't want to do that.
I always want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Not gonna lie.
Honest is very, he calls his own shots a lot of time, which is great.
Yeah, but, if I lose a game, I lost the game. It's not my bot lane went 0-15. No. If my bot lane went 0-15, that's because I fed the jungler. I don't give a fuck what my bot lane's doing. Either I fed the jungler and I lost the game, or I got fed off of their whole team and won. Everybody else in the game doesn't matter. If I force the game down their throats, Like, why would I give a fuck what my Ezreal's doing? Like, what's he gonna do anyway? Even if he's 19-0, what's he gonna do? Like, that's a Scion. Good job, Ezreal. You're 19-0. Like, you can watch our Nexus fall.
But what I was saying, he's a great shot caller, but he just needs a little bit more, information.
I just need to make better decisions.
Yeah, you just need more, reasons for making certain decisions instead of just saying, "Oh, this seems like a good idea," off of whim and doing something.
I'm like, oh, I'm stronger than them. Nobody else on my team is, but I'm stronger, so I just go in.
And then you find out.
And then I find out that there's 4 people there.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Dej. That's why Dej is your favorite word.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like it's the copium for every time I kill myself.
Good one.
It's me getting over it.
I firmly believe that if we all go into our games, because Taption, sometimes I know you do it too, because I've seen you do it in Clash games where you're just autopiloting. You know what I mean? Legit. You're just autopiloting. And we all do it where we're just AFK and we're just like, oh yeah, hit minion. Oh, look like I can fight. Let me hit enemy. Oh no, jungler's here. I'm dead. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, dead. But we know, because again, jungle tracking. So I probably shouldn't fight right now. You know how to look at the map and say, oh, my jungler's bot side right now. Oh, I'm playing weak side. Let me just farm. Right? Like, we know. And we know how to play the game. Like, obviously, we're not like, oh, I play at a 1K LP challenger level. Like, no, we're not. It's not that. But, like, do I think that I probably know how to play the game a little bit better than my Silver 2 teammates? Yeah, probably. And my Silver 2 opponents? Yeah, probably. Do you know how to play better than your Gold 1 opponents, Taption? Yeah, probably. And honest, I don't know where you at right now. Where you at? You in Gold 3? Go 4?
Almost. 4? I'm basically Gold 3.
Okay.
Like 96 LP or something like that.
Okay.
Like
you know how to play better. You know, most of us know. We've been in boot camps. We sit in the server. We have friends that are high elo. Like, we know what we're supposed to do. We just don't do it. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a big thing. But, like I said, if you just sit down and you actually pay attention and you play with your brain turned on instead of just autopiloting, like I said today, I still lost games. I think I played like 8 games. I think I lost like 3 of them. 3, maybe 4 of them.
8 games.
Mm-hmm. I was grinding today.
But those
I
games...
just woke up like an hour and a half ago.
But those 3 games you lost, was that because of you? Did you play well in those losing games?
So one of them, I know I lost that game because I was making dumb decisions. I know for a fact that one of them I absolutely could have won that game if I had played better. Now, there was the first game I played that was a loss. I really don't think that I could have done that much just because like the entire top side of the map was gone at like 15 minutes. Literally, they were at our inhib at 15 minutes top side. So I was like, I don't really know what to do with this. You know what I mean? So like that one, I don't know, but like I think that there was one where I went 5-7. That one I think I also could have played better, but I don't fully take whole responsibility for that one. I think that was a group effort of inting there. And then the last one, I blame myself for that one because I know that if I had played better, I think it was actually winnable. So that one for sure, I'm like, yeah, we could have won that one if I had played better, but I didn't play well enough, so we lost that one. But the rest of them, there was one where I absolutely got carried. Our whole team was AD. We had Ribbon top, Yone mid, Yi jungle, and then my support was like, yo, we need AP. I said, you know what's good? You know what's a good APC? Seraphine. I was like, I'm gonna just play Seraphine. I don't even play Seraphine. Free. Absolutely free. I just walked around the map ulting people for my whole team. I was like, y'all got it. I believe in you. You got it. Good luck. My Master Yi popped off. That game was, was literally free. Like, free. Just completely
Master
free.
Yi is just so good.
Yeah.
He's so good when he's either on enemy's team slicing up everybody, or sometimes on our team, doing a little bit of killing. But why
I
people
get them
hate Master E?
pentas.
They hate Master E on enemy team because every Master E you face gets like hella big somehow. But when the Master E's on your team, he just does RPG jungling all day long, and he can't even do anything. So it's like I don't know the mystery why our team's Master E is always taking shit in the jungle while enemy team's Master E
because I was holding it last
taking
game.
shit on our faces I'm not talking about honestly good Master E.
I was holding it, so I needed shit while I was in the jungle today. What can I say?
I'm not this time. I'm honestly not talking about honest. But in general,
you're talking about solo queue.
In general, when I'm in solo queue and I see Master E that gets covered and it gets picked, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
whether it's on our team or the enemy team.
It's like when you see a Yasuo on your team, you just know.
Oh yeah.
So you're gonna feed, right?
Dude, I played. I'm not gonna lie, 3 games, and 2 of the 3 were 4v5s. Literally, a player AFK'd and never returned. In 2 of my 3 games.
Damn.
Yeah, I had that today too, where our top laner shat the bed and then our jungler DC'd.
Well, we almost did. So we won 1, but to no fault of our fucking team at all. They literally could have stayed AFK. All of my team could have AFK'd. Me and mid basically just carried the game with freaking cinder blocks and everything. Dude, our freaking top lane Yone was literally taking all of my jungle farm and then just splitting and just never and would just fight and kill himself over and over again.
Damn.
And I didn't give a fuck. I just went into his lane and took all of his farm, killed his laner, took the towers. I was like, cool. Take the jungle. I don't care. This is my game. You have fun doing whatever the fuck you're doing. And then I gave him a win. Which I shouldn't have. But I did.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta strap the team to your back. And carry the game. It just is what it is, and some teams are heavier than others, but
yeah, dude, I hate it. I hate that when one person AFKs, the others just lose all sense of morale and just quit. They die once and they quit. I'm 5-0 as Master Yi, and our fucking Soraka just stands in the fountain. Because Lucian AFK'd. I'm
the worst. That's true, but the worst part is we don't know what was typed because we have our chat muted. So it's they are in there and they're just molding to each other, just tilting the crap out of each other and just flaming and screaming and hollering, and we have no idea what's going on. So obviously to us, we're oh, the AFK 45, okay, let's do it, whatever. Our morale's not shaken.
Because we don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I do have my chat on, but I don't get played by chat.
Liar.
I can't be asked.
I get played by honestly though, I don't get played by as much as chat, but the deaths. Every time somebody dies, there's your ally has enemy pentakill. That shit. Every time I hear that messes with my head. With the chat itself, I kind of look at them and I kind of laugh to myself, they're funny. But as soon as they die, I'm
yeah.
That's when I got mad.
Dude, I don't give a fuck if my team dies because typically the game is decided. Either I'm stomping them by that point or they're stomping me.
I don't know. It's something about hearing that you're the enemy Pantheon support that's still building a regular Pantheon just got a quadra kill. It just shakes you a little bit at like 2 minutes. Something about that just jars you, which is a little bit. And yes, that did happen to me today. And yes, we did lose
That's
that
fair.
game.
But the thing about games like that is I'm typically the first blood.
Yeah, you're the one that feeds people, so that's why you don't
I'm
care.
the one that died first. And so I'm like, oh yeah, he's huge. I don't know why they're fighting him. I'm like, I fed the fuck out of that guy. You guys should
like
stay away from him. That's for sure. I'm a farm over here. You guys can like just hold him off. Fine.
But
and then if they can't hold him off, that's cool. I lost the game.
It's fair.
My team didn't lose the game. Like, who the fuck gives a fuck about Timmy and Tommy in the bot lane, you know, or our freaking brain dead mid laner? Like, I'm the carry.
You start caring a little when they are 0 and 10 at 10
I
minutes.
don't. I literally don't, actually. Because
I mean, sometimes it depends. It depends. But he plays a hyper carry, right? So, like, to him.
Yeah. Like, my Yone was 1 in 15 at the end of the game I won. 1 in 15. He reset his gold and gave them more kills, and we still won. Because I didn't give a fuck what he was doing.
True.
I mean, I have
like,
that
at least he's pushing a lane,
True.
It's better than
mindset too, where
nothing.
It's like, oh, my top laner's like, I remember this one Heimerdinger went like 0-17, like no cap, like he was just, I mean, feeding, and I don't know how we won that game, but we won that game, and I was like, you know what? No one's too heavy. Apparently.
Exactly.
No one's too heavy.
I'm like, dude, when I see one like 0 and 10, like. That character is literally just irrelevant now, and so like if they just like do anything, that's better than them doing nothing at that point. Literally,
sure.
Like they're at least distracting someone for 10 seconds before they die. You know, like it could be worse. And like it's not like that. I like why the fuck would I rely on that guy to carry me anyway? Like, I was never relying on anyone anyway. Why would I care if he's 0-10 or 10-0? I'm the one that's winning the game.
You're right, but he's making it harder for you. That's the thing.
Good. That way when I hit plat, I'll know what it's like.
Yeah.
I'll know. I'll already have dealt with hard games. And then when someone's like tilted and like playing overly aggressive, I'm like, oh, I've already dealt with this shit. I already know how to win this.
Fair. Strong mentality.
Like, good. Make the game harder. I'm looking for harder. That's why I'm trying to climb. It's not like every time I win a game, it's going to get easier.
That is true.
Well, my question is, like, what do you think is, because my idea on, like, climbing through the ranks, right, is in order to get from one rank to the next rank is that you have to learn something, right? Like, to me, from bronze, when I was, like, just a standard bronze player, and I was like, oh, I belong here. I was getting, like, 4 CS a minute, like, consistently. And then when I started getting like 5, then I was like, oh, now I'm a silver player, right? And I learned that attack move was a thing, and I learned target champions only was a thing. I was like, oh, silver player, right? So like, what's the thing that you feel like is keeping you in the elo that you're in? Yeah. What do you think you need to learn in order to get past gold and get into plat?
I need to be more consistent.
Get out of gold and back in. Mm-hmm.
I need to be more consistent, like with because if I look at my match history, there is one stat that's the same across all my wins that does not appear in my losses, and that is either low deaths, like meaning like 3 or less, and 7 or more CS per minute.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think 6.6 or something like that is like the like low end. So I need at least 6.6 CS a minute, and to just not freaking kill myself more than 3 times, and it's a guaranteed dub.
There you go.
On the games that I lose, like, it's a hard stomp. However, I do have games that I do win with like 12 deaths. And that's literally because like I'm the only one doing anything. And so like I like force a play and end up like I end up with a lot of kills and a lot of assists. But I also end up with a lot of deaths. So like I think there's a game that I went like 16, 12, and like 20 or something like that. So just outrageous amount of kills happened that game. And like all of them were because of me. But I died because of it. But we won. Worth.
Sure. Fair.
And it was a
what do you
freaking
think?
fun time.
Fun time, yes. Fun time for sure.
Dude, if I get 16 kills and 20 assists, that's a fun game. Even if I died a few times in the process, you know, that's just fun.
You do have more kills than deaths even at that point, so, you know, a positive day.
It's true.
True.
But for me, I think when I was stuck in plat, I think I was just going even in lane. So I guess winning lane, which has to do with champion mastery, knowing the and the macros in lane. So utilizing skill combos, the mini fights in lane. That's also for sure. And farming, I still lack a lot in farming, even though even if I have like a even matchup, like a matchup that's not like too hard for me, I still can't CS like more than 7 CS. Like I think like my max is like 7 CS per minute, which is not great. So definitely there's more things to improve in farming. But if I had to say like one biggest thing, it would probably be like the macros in lane and like dominating the lane and winning my lane and starting to snowball there. Because usually what I find is that unless I have the lane advantage, which is me picking the champion second to that opponent and picking a counter pick that I'm pretty good at and is able to apply pressure, or is I'm able to like get a kill off of a jungle gank and is able to snowball that. Um, um, Outside of those two ways, if I just am in one-on-one lane without any advantage, sometimes even disadvantage, I'm not able to like overcome that, and I'll either lose the lane or I'll just be half and half, and it's basically a coin flip at that point on who has the better team fight and whose teammate has the better, I guess. I think that's another thing why I think about it, because usually I go like half and half at top lane. So when it comes to team fight, then the other team members on your team come into the equation. Whereas if you're winning your lane, you can basically like split push hard and force them to kind of draw them towards you, so the rest of the team has a little bit less pressure. But in the time I go just half and half, like it would, the game was not going to end without a team fight. It's going to come down to a team fight, whether you like it or not, whether you're winning, whether you're losing. And when it comes down to that, your teammate's going to play a factor. I know Honest says it's all his fault, blah blah blah, but he's never going to win if all his 3 lanes is always losing and giving kills away. But let's be realistic. So
so the only reason I would say it's still your fault or my fault if I'm in that situation, right? Like if I'm laning, it's because like either I've fed the hell out of my lane opponent or I am fed as hell off of them. Because I'm taking any small fight, I'm gonna kill them. And if it's freaking 2 HP diff between one of us dying, it better freaking be them. Please, dear God. And then if it's not, it's like, well, I fucking tried to carry the game. What do you guys got? And then they're like, then they lose the team fight. And it's like, well, I already lost the game. So really,
that's like something, yeah.
Like it's
That's
up
like
to you
something I have
guys.
to take from Honest's play is playing a bit more aggressive, because I was more of a player that was like, if I'm dying, even if I get a kill, it might not be worth. But I think I'm trying to get a bit more aggressiveness in me. So I'm not taking any more TPs. I'm taking Ignite only in top lane nowadays, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing more of offensive bruiser, where I was playing more defensive bruiser before, like tank bruisers and tanks. Whereas I'm trying to practice like offensive champions like Aatrox, Fiora, and things of that sort, Irelia, things of that sort. So I'm trying to kind of find champions that is able to, snowball in lane from aggressive lanings and is able to get kills off early,
Right.
and being aggressive in lane a little
Which
bit.
I love it. Because even when Taption is like 0-3 in lane has like killed himself a bunch of times, I'm like, hell yeah. Try to kill him again, dude.
And I
I'll
did
come
see
up and I'll help you, dude. Let's freaking kill this guy.
I did see the benefit of that. Like, even in our last Clash game where I played Fiora, even though that wasn't my comfort pick, I tried to be more aggressive about it, and then it kind of paid off because, like, I
Because you
became,
almost
like,
carried the game.
I mean, I kind of did. I would say
He carried that one. Yeah, he did carry that
Yeah.
one.
Because there was like at this one point there was 3 people in bot lane, and there wasn't like support, jungle, and like AD carry. It was like mid lane, their AD carry, and their jungle, I think, was at bot lane, and I was able to 3v them one with a Fiora, which
Which then
probably
gave us
because they weren't
Baron
good
and
enough.
we ended the game, yeah.
Yeah, which probably I was able to win because they weren't that good, but I was very strong at that point because I was able to snowball some kills off of lane and early phase of the game thanks to taking Ignite and that sort. So I do see like how that could be really beneficial in climbing if I just learn to play like Fiora, for example, really well and really well in lane through late game and play
Right.
aggressively with her. That's why I'm trying to play more Fiora nowadays. I think that's a better pick than
It's a good champ on you too. You're really good on Fiora. Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree. That's kind of something that because like that's something that like Chalupa just like constantly used to get on me about. He's like, you're not aggressive enough in lane. He's like, you play so passive, and it's because I played Ashe where it's like I would get in lane and I'd be like, oh well, if I'm behind, like it's not a big deal because I'm Ashe, so like I can throw E, I can throw ult, I'm still helping, right? And so when I swapped over to like Jinx and like Caitlyn, I was like, oh shit. Like if I'm
You're
not
the carry.
like, yeah, I have to actually do something now. Like I actually have to like play well. Like I have to farm and I have to like make sure that I'm doing something. And I think that like I'm having a lot more fun now that I've gone back to Ashe. Now that I've learned, like before I was like, okay, I know how to help from behind, but now I know how to carry. So now I know how to help from behind and carry on Ashe, and I feel like that's like my comfort pick. And I'm a bully now. Like literally in lane, I'm just like, oh, you walked up too far, auto. Oh, you last hit in that, you're in my range, auto. Like literally, if you step up a pixel too far, you get autoed immediately. Oh, no minion in front of you, W auto. Like I am such a bully now, and it's really because like again like Chalupa just got on my butt about like not being aggressive enough in game. Like
that's the one thing that I do like about laning. Like is that I can like constantly be like poking at someone. And like, oh, you freaking walk closer, bitch.
Yeah, they're terrifying in low elo. Like it's hilarious. Like you auto someone when they try to take a minion, they're like, oh my god, and they like back all the way up and miss like 2 CS just because you auto them once. Or if they step up a little too far, they like use their dash or something. I'm Ashe. Oh, I got 4 autos off on you. Oh my gosh, I'm running you down with Q. Like I'm just gonna hit you with Q until it runs out or you flash. Like
yep, I love it.
It's really like playing aggressive in low elo is like obviously you can it sometimes turns into inting, but it's better to int down here, right, and learn how to int.
Oh yeah,
and make it not an int, right? instead of getting to like, oh, let's, I get to plat and then I don't know how to trade properly, or I get to plat and then I don't know how to like, be aggressive.
How to handle somebody who's just depressive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like Taption said, taking different summoner spells. Oh my gosh, I would take heal every single game. I would not divert from taking heal. Samira, oh no, Samira is so scary. Anyway, exhaust. Exhausted her. What's she gonna do now?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely.
I freaking love League because it's so much like freaking real life in so many aspects. Like, if you just wait for someone else to do something, like, even in real life, like, there's no guarantee anything's gonna get done.
True.
Because you're leaving it in someone else's hands. But yeah, I freaking love that about League. God, I want to play now. I just want to carry some bitches. Or feed my brains off. Whatever it takes.
I mean, you're still carrying the enemy teams. You're feeding them.
Exactly.
So I guess you're carrying someone regardless.
Either way, the game is my fault.
Mm-hmm. You're either
Which
carrying
I love.
as your team, or you're either carrying as other team. It's a 6v4 or a 5v5.
Yep.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm actually so like even that Yone that was 0 or 1 in 15, like, love players like that. I don't like that he gave up, like that his mental was freaking shot at 10 minutes, but the fact that he kept playing and kept trying to go for the kill, like, freaking all power to you. I love it. I'm like, freaking keep trying. You get one of those shutdowns, you're going to get so much gold, the game's just going to snowball right back to us. And you know for a fact that these gold players, plat players, whatever, are going to throw away a kill. That Yone was 1 in 15 from 0-10. That means that one of them did work. And I guarantee that was 1,000 gold. That's probably what carried us the rest of the way. Because he just couldn't die as quickly now because he got 1,000 gold to help him not die.
I mean, yeah.
He didn't get a GA.
Oh,
so they had to kill him twice.
And waste all their.
In order to get 150 gold, like.
I mean, someone in the team fight has to be the sacrificial lamb. Why not let it be the 1 in 15 Yone, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's fine.
True.
That's
no
fine.
need to be tilted. You're 19-0. Unless you weren't doing anything all game, in which case, then you're 0-0 and haven't had an impact.
Yeah, that is
There's a big difference.
Negative impact better than no impact?
Yes.
I mean, maybe. At least as long as you learn something, right? As long as you learn something from it, even if you even
if you run it down, like you're like chicken. You just learned that you probably shouldn't go that hard on that champ or whatever.
Exactly. Well, I had a 9 and 11 game today, and what I learned from that one was I need to stop acting like my place in the team fight is being in people's faces, because it's not. You don't you go around the long way. Oh, there's a team fight right there. Well, you can't walk up to it if your team's not right there. You go around and you walk to behind your back line. You are not an assassin. That is not your job. And you know what? The next Ash game I played after that one, I went 12-0 because I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I've started to learn during this durability patch. I can't be the one going in on Yi. Because isn't it? Yeah, they're too tanky. Like, I just can't burst them fast enough to not die. And so I kind of have to wait for something to happen and like let my team do their thing, If they end up killing themselves, whatever. At least the enemy's half health now.
True.
And then it's like pentakill, and they're like, yeah, go Yi, and I'm like, actually, I just waited for you bitches to kill yourselves.
Wow. Sometimes you gotta debate your team to get the dub.
It's true.
Debated.
Sometimes.
Good one.
I like you carry, and I'm like, actually, you guys carried because you guys got them to like 40% HP and died like you normally do.
The real MVP.
I'm like, you guys did exactly what I expected you would do. And for that, I thank you.
Speed.
You gave me a pencil.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And comment what you guys feel in your ranked games.
See you next time. Bye, guys.
Slayers out.